This podcast may contain views and opinions which are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any local agency, organization, union, employee, or company, including the podcast.
Ready?
Ready.
Hangry?
No, I'm good now.
Hangry.
Hungry.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to, episode 4, 5. Wow. Episode 5 of Off the Clock Shop Talk.
Say that 5 times.
I can't.
One time he's going to get you. He's going to get you one time.
I know.
I
I can't do it. Anyways, so welcome back, everybody. Couple things we wanted to go over, just a few reminders. When this is released, obviously, it'll be Friday. We record prior, obviously. Saturday, the 22nd, will be the next general membership meeting. So if you don't know, the local goes dark usually during the summer months for a little while. Most locals do give people time to take vacations and whatnot. So we haven't had a general membership meeting in a couple months. Now this is going to be the first one, and it's our trunk or treat. So feel free, members, 952 members, bring your kids. Oh, he's shot out with the new material.
Oh, man.
The investment's paying off, guys.
Yeah.
The investment's paying off.
But,
anyways, so general membership meeting, the 22nd of October, trunk or treat, all that stuff. So bring your kids by. And then proposal meetings. I know that was the next thing. Proposal meetings, the 29th and 30th of October. And those will be, both days will be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., right? 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., 3-hour slot. You can get in there, give your proposals. We also have the survey, which is basically the same thing. It's just a different avenue to get your proposals in. So we have the survey. If you're old school, and you absolutely need to do it on paper, get with one of your stewards or one of your business agents for 952, and we can go ahead and get you a paper copy to put your proposals in on. They'll obviously have paper at the meetings as well. So just so you guys know, the QR code is not the same one as the international, right? I know everyone's been, I got to download an app. That's not this one. Okay, that first survey that they did, that first proposal thing, was more geared towards national language. And I don't know if you guys understand that, but there's national language. Then for us, we have the West supplemental, the Western region supplemental, and then the package rider and the sort rider, right? So the Southwest package rider and the Southwest sort rider. So that first initial thing that was put out by the IBT, that was more geared toward national language. This one's more geared towards ours. I think there's a couple questions in there that have to do with national stuff in regard to pay for part-timers. There's a bunch of stuff that's in there, right?
Yes.
yeah.
So
Feeder drivers, part-time.
There's just more geared towards the West and the Southwest, right? So there's going to be a couple questions in there. You don't have to download an app. Don't freak out. I know I don't like downloading apps on my phone that I don't know what they are. So this QR code, you scan it. We'll put it up, in the corner here, and then it'll take you directly to a website, SurveyMonkey. It'll ask you a couple questions to kind of identify yourself, and then it's going to get right into the survey.
Survey Monkey.
I was just going to say Survey Monkey.
Yeah, Survey Monkey. Yeah. That's where we did it. Okay. All right. Anyways, so yeah.
Wait, not just him. We both looked at each other. I was like, Survey Monkey?
I didn't pick the site, okay? I'm just telling you. So anyways, that's what's going to happen. You're going to scan it. It's going to take you directly to the site, ask you a couple questions, and then you'll get right into your proposals. If you guys don't understand what a proposal is, Sabas is going to explain it.
I am absolutely not going to explain it because I am going to take my medicine for the morning.
Okay. I will.
Salute to you guys.
You want to explain it a little bit, or?
You can explain it.
Apparently. All right. So I will explain it. So proposals are basically something that you propose change in the next contract, right? Every couple years we have a contract for UPS that comes up. All companies are different time frames. I think some are 3, some are 5 years, however long the contract lasts. And then usually you'll go through proposals, things that you want changed, better pay, better healthcare, keep everything the same. There's just different proposals that you would like to see in the upcoming contract. And that's what we're doing. And if you want something specifically and a bunch of other people do as well, make sure you guys get together and kind of be poignant with your proposals, because that does help. The more people that propose the same thing, obviously, if everyone's on the same page and everyone wants a certain thing, usually those things are addressed more expediently.
I would agree. Yeah, for sure. I believe that's a word.
Yeah. All right. Sabas is on his phone during the podcast.
John, that's a nice hat you got there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Where'd you get that hat?
Let's get into the hats. All right. I'm sure a lot of people have seen this I've worn it on a couple of the podcasts now. This is not, just so we're all clear, this is actually not a member's first hat. This is just a 952 Teamster hat. Sabas, show your hat off as well.
So this one here also has local 952 on the back, and a little pin there on the side.
I like the pin.
And you can customize this hat any way you want.
Even if you're from a different local.
With your pin from your local, or you want a different one. And you can get with myself on these hats, or actually on both, but these are something that if any of you out there are interested in ordering something, let us know. We'll have the one that John's wearing. We'll also have black snapback and flex fit. That right there is a flex fit, and we also have the flex fit trucker hat as well.
Yes.
Flex fit trucker hat?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, flex fit trucker hat.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
They're super nice. And we have them obviously in the black and green.
We're gonna have them in brown and gold
for the UPSers.
I'm down for that.
Those are gonna be good. So.
And we will have some for the Coke guys. Red. We could do red. We could do blue for our Pepsi guys. But yeah, just hit us up. Let us know if you guys are interested.
Yeah, let us know in the comments if you guys are interested. Just a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, the reason why I brought it up is because people have asked.
Yeah,
definitely. Like,
people
hey,
have
where do you guys
asked
get those hats at? So hit us up in the comments. Let us know if any of you are interested. We could definitely point you in the right direction and get those to you.
To keep it on the lighter side of things, we kind of wanted to do something, and we'll do one of these for each of us, but just to kind of, just so you guys understand who we are and that we're actually people and we're not just workers.
We're not robots.
We're not robots. Kind of want to do a small segment on us, right? Who we are, what we do outside of work. We have, families and friends and all that good stuff, right? Yeah. So a little bit, Sabas is going to explain his life. No, I'm just kidding. Not this week. Sabas needs to prepare his memoirs.
He needs to prepare.
But we're going to let George just say a little bit about himself and kind of let you know who George is.
Yeah. Ooh, oh man, exactly. Where do I
Put you on
start?
the spot, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. I've been working for the company for like 18 years, but outside of that, I kind of a little bit of a nerd. I'm not sure if you guys.
How old are you?
38. I started with the company when I was 20.
Same age.
Yeah, started when I was 20. But I definitely, I like a lot of nerdy stuff. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys could tell from the shirts I've been wearing. The one last week, this week, and my hat is a Star Wars hat.
I was wondering what that was.
It's a Star Wars hat.
I thought it was gangsta.
A very, very, very. I like nerdy things, and I used to play a ton of video games. Like when I first started working, I have kids now, can't do that, and I've kind of geared my like need for like video games in a completely different direction, and like been doing like podcasts and stuff. So I've been doing a lot of those. I've been on quite a few. We used to be on the Speakeasy Gentleman, which is no longer a thing. Dorskin, You Suck. I had my own That's My Story for a while. That's didn't see a lot of fruition, so I kind of canceled that. But I have another one that I'm doing with another driver from Anaheim called Not Your Everyday Critics, which is a movie review podcast. I mean, if you like movies, we really go into depth, and we kind of shoot the shit. We have another friend who's a previous UPS employee. He's our bartender. We have like it's three of us. We have one bartender and then two guys. Like,
I know that guy too.
We just talk about movies. So I'll put a link here and one in the description if you guys, feel like watching a funny movie review. Check it out. But that's kind of a little bit about me.
It's cool.
Now let's hear from Big Bearded John.
I think we're gonna save that for next week.
We're gonna do that next week.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I might have
Sabas
to.
wasn't
I
here
might
for
have to
the-
save that sound clip.
For the pre-planning
pretty
show.
good.
Oh, dude, just wait till we get some sound bites.
You should have.
So,
You had to be there when Big Bearded John was gonna arm wrestle Long-Winded Larry.
Long-winded Larry.
Yeah, he's a labor guy. Never mind. That's another story.
oh
But
my god, yeah, we won't go there.
yeah.
We won't go there. Anyways,
I like how you guys have like wrestling names.
yeah, this guy actually gave those names
On the spot.
On the spot, we were.
I think we gave you a name last week, didn't we? Weren't you the Valve?
Oh, the release valve.
the Valve. Porras.
I'm in a good mood. I just had chicken and rice.
I'm glad you're not angry, dude.
So let's start off right off the top that here in our local 952, we have members that we represent, the OCTA mechanics that are going to be, from what it looks like right now at this moment, will be going out on strike Monday at 12:01. That's the last thing I've heard.
They unanimously voted to approve the strike if an agreement is not reached by Monday at 12:01.
And mind you, we just went through this with the bus drivers.
The operators.
The operators.
This is the mechanics.
These are the mechanics. Huge deal. I mean, OCTA, they're trying to play hardball. And my opinion is because they're not used to having this administration, this young administration, led by Eric Jimenez and John Green and Danny Herbert, where they're not messing around no more,
Yep.
That's something to know. And this gets into where we're going to talk about all the other barns and the other members that we represent out of Local 952. Like I've said before, this is not just about UPS, even though the three of us are from UPS. And this is coming up. And look, we need your guys' support. Anybody out there that is listening that come next week, I mean, hopefully by next week when this airs, there won't be a strike anymore if it comes down to that. But if it does, we encourage anybody out there that's willing to stand on that picket line if we're out there.
Yeah. And I mean, that just to reiterate, I know we say this all the time, but, the goal is never to strike. That's never the goal. The goal is a good contract. This company, OCTA, it's kind of been just really, they don't want to bargain in good faith. They don't really want to work with us. They're not, haven't wanted to come to the table. They keep kind of repackaging the same deal and trying to give it to us in different.
So is that just because of old administration, you think?
Well, yeah, they've never really had any pushback. The old administration there was not a lot of language change within their, the past however long. I mean, we're talking a long time. There wasn't a lot of language change, a lot of, the contributions, just a lot of stuff, right? So for them, they're kind of getting hit hard for the first time, and it's a tough pill to swallow. But unfortunately, 952 is just not going to lay down anymore. That's just not us.
Let's get ready to participate.
That's better. I could probably keep that in. You should come up with your own catchphrase. It'd be pretty sweet. The Valve.
Let me
Get ready
The
to-
Valve.
let me let some steam out.
The Valve's gonna let go of some steam.
Wow. Anyways.
I say that jokingly, but for real, like for you guys that can make it out there if there is a strike line, whether you're from UPS, CVS, or any of the barns I represent, come out, support.
Yeah, because we're all, like we talked about it before on the show, we're all Teamsters who happen to work for UPS, who happen to work for OCTA, who happen to work for Albertsons or Pepsi. So go and just show your support to the rest of your brothers and sisters that are struggling in their fight to get a fair contract.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that we've tried to express to people. Myself a lot. I try to tell people from UPS, because that's where I come from, to get out of the brown bubble, right? You're in this little brown bubble and that's all you think about. And granted, I understand, priorities, right? Number one priorities to my family, right? And I know I understand that. So you're always kind of looking out for yourself, but we do definitely need to look at the broader picture. We have other members in other barns, and this is a whole labor movement. I mean, at the end of the day, wages go down for everybody. They're going to go down for us as well. It's not like, I mean, when we lift wages for our whole industry, and that's one of the things I've expressed when talking about Amazon and that kind of stuff. They're pulling everybody down. And if you've noticed, wage growth has kind of been somewhat stagnant as far as, I mean, granted, UPS, we're at the top of the tier, but if you look at everybody else, within the industry, it's kind of trending downwards, especially when you look at inflation and stuff.
Since we're talking about
other
barns and the different crafts, I just want to kind of just name off what we have. Okay, so we have Kraft, we have CVS, we have Boeing.
Kraft singles?
Huh?
They Kraft the company, right?
John.
Kraft macaroni and cheese?
Yeah, you're not the funny guy here today. Okay? Albertsons.
Shut me down.
We have, and I might be saying this wrong, Smarten Supply, ABF Freight. We have Alsco, American Bottling, Anaheim Stadium, Aeromark, Bimbo, Super Shuttle. We have some of the Anaheim Convention Center, County of Orange, SciTech, Disneyland. We have Durham, First Student, First Transit, FXI,
All
GKN.
And aerospace.
Iron Mountain, yes. Pepsi, Republic Services, which is the trash company. Heritage Foods, obviously we have UPS. We have T-Force Freight, that used to be UPS Freight. We have Westside Building Materials. And we have Southern Wine and Spirits. And I believe I might have forgot one in there too, but
so if we did forget you, we apologize.
Yeah,
but that being said, we do cover a broad spectrum of companies. As far as 952 goes, UPS being the biggest portion of that, 30-something%, right? But that being said, we should always be looking out for our brothers and sisters, our other members, making sure that we support them when they're on strike or when, I mean, obviously, as a union member, you never cross a picket line. You just don't. You don't cross it to go shopping. You don't cross it to go scabbing and go work. You just don't cross a picket line, right?
Do it.
We would expect the same if God forbid, but if it comes down to a strike in 2023 for us, for UPS, we want their support. And we want all the support of, all these other members just to make sure that, our leverage is kept.
remember the grocery strike when we were all instructed just to shop at Stater Brothers. At that time, my older girls, they were young, very young, and to this day they remember that. And having that explanation to them, like, but Dad, we always go to Albertsons, and well, we're not going to Albertsons because of this. And I've ingrained that in their head. It's funny because my older daughter, that's 31, and she's a teacher. A lot of the teachers that she works with would be like, "Oh, we're gonna go to Walmart," or and my daughter's like, "Oh no, that Walmart's the devil." And she says that to them, and they go, "Why do you say that?" "Oh, because my dad, he's always been union," and so it makes me happy that they've had that instilled in them. They know what the labor force is. They know what a union is, and because of that, they had the great health benefits all the way up till they were 26. Obviously my two older ones are past that age now. I have two younger ones.
Still on the insurance?
Still on insurance. They're 22. Nice. And that's a benefit of being in a union. But yeah, I thought it's just kind of funny that, my girls grew up calling Walmart the devil, you know?
That's pretty cool.
Devil.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. Walmart's the devil.
Walmart's the devil.
Okay, well, let's roll into it. I know we did last week. We did our tips and tricks.
We chopped it down to life hacks.
Life hacks. That's right. So life hacks, peak stuff, right? So we just want to kind of continue, not on the life hacks so much, but just kind of continue talking about peak and gearing up. I mean, we're technically contractually in peak now. I'm sure within your buildings you're seeing some PVDs, and we're definitely gearing up.
Seeing a lot of Wallies.
Yeah, we're rentals, all that stuff, right? So one of the topics we wanted to discuss is helpers and COVID and all that stuff, right? So I've definitely, I know I've heard, last year during peak, a lot of drivers still kind of say, hey, I don't want a helper because of COVID, right? So the way we've been looking at it really is the company is going to abide by CDC guidelines. And other than that, they're not really obliged to go above and beyond that. That's really what we've gotten, and what the decisions we've seen in panels and, just throughout kind of the country, really. The company will abide by CDC guidelines and not really go above and beyond that. So I get some of the concerns and the fears. It might be more of a conversation with your manager or something. Hey, but as far as saying I'm going to abstain permanently because of COVID, those kind of are out the door. We actually pulled up, just so I can real quick read just what it says as far as social distancing for the current CDC guidelines. So it's actually, there's no CDC guideline on a distance anymore. There's no longer 6 feet, 3 feet. I think George had mentioned they're packing out stadiums and stuff now. So all that stuff is kind of gone. What it does say is social distancing means putting space between yourself and others. Everyone can help to slow the spread of COVID-19. Additional transcript of images, right, is just wash your hands, clean and disinfect frequently. And if you're sick, stay home and do not touch your eyes, nose, and mouth. And that's really the guidance for now. There's not any more 6 feet, 3 feet, not so many people in a room, or there's just really none of that.
They've abandoned that distance rule, basically.
Yeah. So just so you guys know where the CDC is at, and that could change. That did change throughout COVID. I know, some, especially with the days off, right?
Yeah.
What was it, 15 days?
Yeah, I thought it was 10 days.
10 days.
I thought it was 15, and then it went to 10.
It might have been 14. It might have been 14,
2 weeks,
but then it went to 10.
It was 2 weeks, and then it went to 10 days, and then it went to 5 days with symptoms, right? Something like that.
Yeah, there's been so many changes.
There's been so many changes.
There's a lot
So
of
this thing
changes
is
there.
constantly moving. If I were you and you do have a concern, I would say definitely look for the current CDC guidelines for that time frame. That's going to kind of dictate all that stuff, right? That is what the company and really the union have kind of said, okay, well, we'll kind of abide by these.
And with that, too, I want people to know that us here at the union, we are not in control of the COVID pay. There's nothing contractual in there about COVID pay. We have a lot of members that come up to us and go, I haven't got paid. I submitted my paperwork. And yes, John and I will push labor to get it paid, but I'll tell you my experience when I got COVID that first year in 2020. It took me 4 months to get paid. At that time, it was on a separate check. What they're doing now, John and I were working in the building just the other day, and we had a member come up to us and say, man, they put COVID pay on my paycheck. It sucks because they tax the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Do they really?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't received COVID pay. I got COVID in late July, early August. I still, I submitted all the paperwork and stuff, and then got approved on the 12th of August, and I still haven't received my payment for it.
Really?
Nope.
Wow.
in August.
Yep, in August.
This goes to exactly what we're saying, right? It's a lot of people.
Sabas is going to try to push that through for you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to call them again because they told me to because I called 4 times, and the last time I called, they're like, "Oh, just call us again in 2 weeks if you haven't received pay," and I haven't.
So
it's been 2 weeks. So I got to call again.
Okay, so
Took me 2 months.
I guess what we could do to help would be if you received an email, obviously with your case number on there and an approval, and when it was approved, that email, if you screenshot it, send it to John or myself. And we'll pass that along to labor and try to push to get that paid. That's what we would ask for. We need a screenshot of that
The approval.
that email approval. Yeah. So it sucks. They take forever to pay you out on it, and then they put it on your paycheck.
Yeah.
So they tax the shit out of it.
None of it's good. I think it's not a streamlined process. It's been horrible. Obviously, the whole dealing with everything with COVID was kind of shitty. I mean, I know we got it pretty bad.
It was like me getting hit by the car all over again.
I can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
What was that like?
Well, first of all, look, that is a true story, but that wasn't me. It was a friend.
We'd like to believe it was you.
Yeah.
So we did want to go over a little bit of contract stuff, right? So we picked out this one section, and it really is in regard to the 6-day work week, all that stuff, right? We're rolling into peak, but we want everyone to understand what's going on here. So Article 20, Section 2A, package car drivers, right? The regular scheduled workday shall consist of 8 consecutive hours with an established start time, excluding a non-paid meal period of either 1/2 or 1 hour as provided in each prospective area or local addendum or rider. The regular scheduled work week, this is the important part, the regular scheduled work week shall consist of 5 consecutive 8-hour days, Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Saturday, subject to the provisions below, right? So really the reason we're bringing that up is because they've been forcing a 6-day work week, right? During peak, we understand, and we've kind of always taken the position that, hey, if you can make it in on Saturday, that's great. That's our work. We would like to protect our work, especially when we have we've given them PVDs and, seasonal help drivers. So when we're doing that, we definitely want to protect our work, make sure we're coming in if we can. But that being said, I know there's been a lot of questions. There's a lot going on in regard to the 6-day work week, them disciplining. Can they discipline, this and this and that? This is the language that we file on when we file your grievances for the 6-day work week. We want to make sure that everyone understands, like, it is supposed to be 5 consecutive days. You are supposed to have 2 consecutive days off, and that's why we file those grievances. That's the language we use. Now, there is language in the contract in Section 22.4 in the national, right, where we get our 22.4 driver language. There is something that says basically if they can't staff Saturday, they give them an order for forced. That the intent of that language always was to provide them help if they couldn't staff, meaning like there was an unforeseen incident, an act of God, right? Something like that. So that is really what they're using to say, hey, we can force, when that was never the intent of that language. But the language that we use to say that we have 5 consecutive days and that's it is that Article 20, Section 2. So we just wanted to kind of touch base on that real quick. I think Sabas has some more contract.
Okay, not funny. So that we're getting into the contract a little bit. I wanted to bring up the part-time employee transfer. I get asked this question all the time. Can I transfer to another building? Especially the guys that come in that are new. Let's say, if they live out in South County and they end up in Anaheim or vice versa and they want to transfer. So in Article 22, Section 6, part-time employee transfer, I'm just going to kind of read it off to you. These are the requirements that you would need to be able to transfer. Part-time employees who wish to transfer to another location for educational purposes may submit a written request to the employer. If approval, the transfer shall be allowed subject to the following conditions. And these are the conditions, okay? A part-time opening exists at the desired location. B, employees must have attained seniority and been employed by the employer for at least 1 year. Okay, so you need to have 1 year with the company. C, job classification seniority shall be entailed. So that means if you end up going to another building, you would entail into that classification that you came out of. Package handler would probably be it. So you would just go to the bottom, okay? D, company seniority shall be retained for the purpose of number of weeks of vacation and number of holidays in accordance with the applicable supplement at the new location. And the very last one, any expenses, including moving expenses associated with approval transfer, shall be the responsibility of the employee. Okay, I get this a lot. Can we transfer? Can we transfer? So these are here in the contract, like I said, Article 22, and these are the requirements that you would have in order to transfer. So I just wanted to touch base on that. For the part-time as well, right now we have a date of November 3rd at break time in Anaheim preload. We will be bringing our first Teamster Thursday there. We've been doing it. Teamster.
We told you it's coming to Anaheim.
Yeah, we're bringing it. I know I've talked to the stewards. That's the day we're looking at. It'll be at break time over at the big break room in front of College Center between Pen 1 and 2. We'll be there. And it's going to be all about educating the membership about the upcoming contract. And we will be talking about how to deal with certain scenarios that happen on the floor there. I look forward to seeing you guys there. Please, do your part and show up and pass this along to everybody else. And that's what I got for
Invest
part-time.
in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
All right, so just a little bit. We've obviously been doing our Teamster Tuesdays in Laguna. I think we've had a great turnout. We've really kind of made some progress. That being said, the next 2 weeks I will be in panel, so we won't have Teamster Tuesdays on the 18th and the 25th, but I'll be back November 1st. Will be the next one, so I'll give you guys a little bit of a break, but we will be there starting back in November again to hit it. The only times that I will miss really is when we got to go to panel. Other than that is a priority. I do like the involvement. I appreciate everybody coming. And like I said, this stuff is coming to Anaheim. And we're going to continue plugging away in Laguna. Sabas is hitting the part-timers, and we got a good thing going. I mean, I think, we really want to be informed membership on the way to that 2023 contract.
I agree.
Yeah, I think that being said, guys, we just appreciate you. We appreciate everything coming to listen. Keep staying informed, whether you're watching the podcast or not. Keep informed. Keep investing in yourself, like Sabas likes to say. I know some people had some issues with that, but it's take that time, invest in yourself, invest in your contract, your future, because the contract, everything that we're talking about, this is your future. I know that I'll go ahead and say it. Look, I know that UPS, we have a great contract. A lot of members within our own local look at us like, man, these guys make a lot of money. Everyone's trying to get to where we're at. That being said, we know that there's some things that need to change, but those take investing in yourself, investing your time, learning, staying informed, going to the proposal meetings. If you want something changed, change it. I know there's, who you are, but there's, a specific guy that says, hey, you guys have language in there that says you guys get paid for a holiday. If your holiday falls on a Monday, you guys get that day off, right? But he's Tuesday through Saturday, so that's his Sunday technically, right? So he doesn't get that day off. He's like, I want Tuesday off.
He wants Tuesday off,
right?
Yeah.
Because if a holiday falls on a Sunday, we get Monday off. I get that. I totally understand that. that there's no language in there right now for that. So that's something he wants changed. You know, if you want something changed, invest in yourself. Put the proposals in. Do your thing.
And don't forget, before we end the show, this Friday when you hear this podcast come out, Saturday, 10 a.m., 140 South Marks Way, the Union Hall. It's going to be trick or treat, trunk or treat day with family, prizes.
Lots of candy.
Come down.
Pumpkin.
Yeah, come down. Bring the family. I think for those of you that have never experienced a general membership meeting, if this is going to be your first one, I would highly suggest you come.
Bring the forklift because they're raffling off like 150-pound pumpkins.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, serious.
Yeah, so
It's a big pumpkin.
yeah. So with that said, I want to thank you guys for having me. I know you guys always say I don't have to thank you, but I appreciate the time. You know, we're all here on a Sunday doing what we do, and I think we're looking forward to bringing on some other guests, some other stewards, BAs from different crafts, and I look forward to doing that as well.
Next week.
Okay.
We plan to have a guest next week, all right?
All right, with that being said, you can email us at ocst.000@gmail.com. Until then.
Smash the like button.